ladies and gentlemen of fellow Gran Turismo 7 racers. Coming back with another video here from Grand Valley. And this time I am trying out the Ford GT. Now, this car has pretty much been the go-to car, I guess, for this track. But I've personally never driven it, and I wanted to give it a shot here. So, throughout this race, you'll notice that I am trying to adapt to the car a little bit. I did run a couple races in it on my UK account prior to this. So I was a little bit familiar with it, but not at this level of racing here in this A-class / A+ class lobby. So just trying to get up to pace here with this car was a little bit rough the first couple laps. And you'll see the Brazilian here spin out right in front of me there. Luckily I avoided him. So now we're up to P3. All is looking good. So the name of the game here, as always, is to not make mistakes and be consistent, which is very difficult on this track. There are a lot of opportunities for mistakes and dirty tires, which leads to more mistakes. So here's me trying to keep up with the top two guys in this lobby currently, and struggling a little bit in this car to run this pace. So I just kind of threw myself into this race here. But I do actually enjoy driving this car. It's a lot of fun. And the top speed it has on this track is pretty impressive. And through the gears it's fast as well. So coming down here through the tunnel, still sitting P3. But I am definitely feeling the pressure from behind, which also kind of gets to me these first few laps here. But I just try to put my head down, try to hit my braking points, and get used to this car as quickly as I can. So I did have a little bit of trouble through here, just always feeling like I had to lift ever so slightly. Just trying to be safe mainly. See the old Ford GT up there in the sand a little bit. So we're trying to keep up with him through this section. He tapped the wall there. Now normally after that wall tap, I would be an opportunist, but not feeling 100% confident in this car at this level yet, I did not want to take that chance. And I really could not take that chance. I'm just trying to survive at this point. But I am starting to feel a little bit better in this car. Decent time there for in race, but you see the Porsche there going for the move, and we give each other space, and unfortunately he loses it a little bit, which puts him back into P5. So now we're coming down, and this other Porsche, the Pizza Hut Porsche, tries the outside, which is a little bit dangerous, but I was not about to let out of it. I just tried to stay out of the side of him. So now coming down into turn 1, he taps me and pushes me wide, and then he got tapped a little bit actually as well. So that didn't work out too well for him. I know it was an accident, it happens. You know, you're racing this close and at this level, there's going to be some bumper taps here and there. Not really much you can do about it. He came in pretty hot there. A little bit of a late breaker. But the Porsche is very, very good on the braking zones. This car's pretty good too. But honestly, I was braking I was definitely braking conservative because, again, I'm still feeling out this car. So I'm just trying to be as smooth as possible, get a feel for the car, and then start pushing a little bit harder. So a decent exit there. A little slow on the lap time for sure. Should be in the 110s there. 111's a little bit slow, even for in race. Because I think that's going to put me at about a 149, maybe low 149 by the end here. We shall see. So now, yeah, 149 now. Not terrible, not great, but I'm feeling more confident. And after the taps, I'm really wanting to get away from these guys. So I kissed the wall there. Not really a huge deal. I didn't really touch it enough to affect me too much. And plus the Porsches, with their lack of speed down the straight, were not going to catch me there. But this car is worse through the turns. So coming down through here, it is a little bit of a challenge in the Ford GT to get it to handle as well as the Porsche, at least for me, and in my opinion. I mean, you can basically see every time in that sector that the Porsches catch me ever so slightly, and then I brake a little bit late there, and then the next turn he runs a little wide, so he does not pass me. I'm still slow at this point, knowing I really need to find the pace. So coming up to the line here for beginning of lap number 5, which we're going to skip to lap number 6. Here at the line, we're just going to skip lap number 5. So lap number 5 was an improvement over the previous 4 laps. As you can see, get into low 148s. Basically cut a whole second off within one lap. So at this point, I've kind of figured the car out, and it's time to push it a little bit more. But basically, to push more on this track, I find driving more conservative really is the key. Braking just slightly earlier. Get yourself all the way down to the apex and get on the power as early as you can. 3400 there. It's a pretty rare time to see. 000. Doesn't happen too often. So now, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to hit my apexes. You know, get on the power as soon as I can. Try to pull away from these guys a little bit, give myself some breathing room. So they're kind of battling each other back there. So, and obviously I'm wanting to catch P1 and P2, which I believe I was for a period of time. Trying to catch P1, P2, just trying to be smooth, consistent, and get away from P4 and P5 as much as possible. So you see, I think I did cut about 4/10 off or so in that lap off of P2. So cutting a little more time down. Beautiful sunset there. This track's awesome. Cliffney really did a good job, in my opinion, on this track. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, to me, it doesn't feel like the old Grand Valley that I remember driving a long time ago. But it is exactly the same, pretty much. They just changed the scenery, so it feels like a completely new track, which is kind of cool. They did a good enough job on it to where it's okay that it doesn't feel like the old one, to me at least. So here we get another sector time in the 110s, which is kind of where you want to be. I mean, preferably low 110s. You know, then you're looking at a pretty good lap time there. I get decent exits out of there this race, which is hard to do, at least for me. And it's just hard to be consistent through there with the curbs, and you know, you really never know how far you can cut it. I mean, I guess you have the orange little pylon things there, but I mean, you just barely get into those, and you're toast. You're definitely getting a penalty. So now P1 and P2 are still kind of within reach at this point. You know, I'm not real confident that I'm going to get any higher than P3, but I'm always hopeful. Let's see, I get a best sector time there, personal best, which I was kind of surprised by, but then I think when I slid through that corner, I think that changed that a little bit. Now this corner is kind of a weird one too. Just never really sure how to take it. But run that next corner wide. Means I got on the power early, probably a little bit too early. It's now coming down to the tricky last chicane here. Try to kind of stay off the curbs. The curbs do upset the car for sure. And this is all flat out here. Through the tunnel once again. So now coming up here to lap number 9 with another 148.6 that lap. Definitely could be better, but could be a whole heck of a lot worse. So now starting to feel this lap, starting to feel a little bit of pressure from behind. Because whoever's back there, one clever name, so he starts pushing a little bit in the Porsche, and through this section that Porsche is extremely fast. The 4GT just doesn't handle as well as the Porsche. I just kind of hold on through there and hope for the best. I'm sure when I get a little better with this car, and maybe I'll be able to improve through there, if I have time to do any more races, that is. So now we're still in P3, trying to catch P1, P2, but spoiler alert, the last lap gets a little bit interesting. So coming down here, the Porsche is definitely catching me. Well, not now because he doesn't have the top speed, but he got a better run out of that corner, I think, in the last sector. He was a little bit quicker. So you can definitely see my taillights. Let's get on the power nice and early, and all of a sudden there is P2. P2 is right in front. So he's got a penalty, makes a little bit of a mistake at the hairpin there, and then in the first corner he made a huge mistake. So I get my best sector time through there because I think I got a little excited because, hey, I could maybe get P2 this race. P1 is even kind of up there as well, but not within reach, unfortunately. But P2 is going to be within reach, especially once he serves this penalty here. It is a 1.5 second penalty, I believe. Which definitely goes in my favor. So I'm coming up, getting the slipstream, and I go for the move. Because why would I not? So he plays it pretty conservative and basically lets me go even though I'm giving him space there, which I thought was pretty cool, but didn't have to. But thank you, I appreciate it. And so after all that, struggling with the car a little bit, then kind of getting used to it, I find myself getting a P2. So thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it, and have a good one. Later.